Yes, my dear students, we'll see some more examples under Markov chain now. A man's smoking habits are as follows. If he smokes filter cigarettes one week, he switches to non-filter cigarettes that next week with the probability 0.2. On the other hand, if he smokes non-filter cigarettes one week, there is a probability of zero point 0.7 that he will smoke non-filter cigarettes again the next week as well. In the long run, how often does he smoke filter cigarettes? See, this question is all about a man smoking filter cigarettes and the non-filter cigarettes. Okay, one complete week he will be smoking filter cigarettes, and one complete week he will be smoking non-filter cigarettes. Okay, see what they have told. If he smokes filter cigarettes one week, one complete week, if he smokes filter cigarettes, he switches to non-filter cigarettes that next week with the probability 0.2. Okay, on the other hand, if he smokes non-filter cigarettes that one week, if he smokes non-filter cigarettes one week, then there is a probability of zero point 0.7 that he will smoke again non-filter cigarettes. See, he smokes non-filter cigarettes and again he smokes non-filter cigarettes that next week as well. The probability is zero point 0.7. Okay, see what it means in the second case. It is showing like when compared to filter cigarettes, he likes non-filter cigarettes, isn't it? Okay, keeping all these aside, let us consider this smoking filter cigarettes as denotation A and smoking non-filter cigarettes as denotation B. Okay. Now let us construct the transition matrix. Now let us construct the transition matrix. How to construct the transition matrix? See, for the transition matrix, let us denote it with P. P is equal to, here AB we have written in a column wise, and in a row wise we have written AB again. So this is how we have to construct the transition matrix. And here we have these elements A11, A12, A21, A22. These I will explain now. See what they have given here. Now I will tell you about the first row. Okay, in this, what is the first condition says? See, anyway, if he smokes filter cigarettes one week, then he switches to non-filter cigarettes in the next week with the probability 0.2. See, they have given the probability of the smoking habit for non-filter cigarettes, isn't it? See, for non-filter cigarettes. So for non-filter cigarettes, we have taken for B, right? The denotation we have taken non-filter cigarettes is as B. So for B, you can put 0.2. Here what they have given, he switches to non-filter cigarettes that next week with the probability 0.2. The next week he is going to switch for non-filter cigarettes. The probability is 0.2. So if he switches to non-filter cigarettes, then what about the filter cigarettes? So the filter cigarettes will be the remaining probability. So that must give you 1, right? So if you sum it, then that will give you 1. So if it is 0.2, then the remaining probability will be the probability of the person he is going to switch to filter cigarettes. So for the filter cigarettes it is 0.8. Then for the non-filter cigarettes it is 0.2. 0.2 is given in the problem. This 0.8 we have come to know that since the addition of these elements will give you 1, right? So in that case it must be 0.8, so that will give you 1. So like that we have written this 0.8. Okay, now we'll come to the next row. See what they have given. On the other hand, if he smokes non-filter cigarettes one week, then there is a probability of zero point 0.7 that, see what they are telling, if he smokes non-filter cigarettes one week, if he smokes non-filter cigarettes, they are telling about non-filter cigarettes again. If he smokes non-filter cigarettes one week, then the then there is a probability of zero point 0.7 that he will smoke non-filter cigarettes again. He will smoke non-filter cigarettes again in the next week. What is the probability? The probability is zero point 0.7. See, the probability of zero point 0.7 that he will smoke non-filter cigarettes in the next week as well. So if he is going to smoke non-filter cigarettes of the probability 0.7, then what is the probability of smoking filter cigarettes? 1 minus zero point 0.7, right? So it is 1 minus zero point 0.7 is 0.3. So then only that sum will give you 1. So this is how we have to write the transition matrix. So we have written the transition matrix, and that is simplified to, see, this 0.8 as written as 8 by 10, 0.2 as written as 2 by 10, 0.3 as 3 by 10, zero point 0.7 as 7 by 10, and in all the elements 1 by 10 have taken common. Therefore it is 8, 2, 3 and 7. Now we have to find the unique fixed probability vector for this transition matrix. So to find the unique fixed probability vector, we have the condition Vp is equal to V, where x plus y is equal to 1 and V is equal to x comma y. This is the probability vector, unique fixed probability vector we have, right? See, this unique fixed probability vector will help us in finding the probability of this person in long run, how often he smoke filter cigarettes or non-filter cigarettes. Both the data it will give is, both the data it will give you. See, this first element x will tell you how in the long run how often he smoked the filter cigarettes. This x, this first element x will tell you in the long run how often he smokes filter cigarettes. This y will tell you in the long run how often he smokes non-filter cigarettes. This the first one is for the filter cigarettes and the second element is for the non-filter cigarettes. Okay, both the data it will give you. Anyway, they are asking us to find only for the filter cigarettes, so let us identify only filter cigarettes later. Okay, now let us simplify this. So Vp is equal to V, you know all these steps, right? So I don't waste more time here. Anyway, you know how to find the probability vector, unique fixed probability vector. Till here you will understand. If you come across these steps, you will understand how I have done, isn't it? From the last video and from the last examples, we have done the same, we are following the same steps. So we have V is equal to x comma y, that is x is equal to 3 by 5 and y is equal to 2 by 5, isn't it? So I told you this x is denoted for the x is denoted for the smoking of filter cigarettes and y is denoting for smoking of non-filter cigarettes. So when they are asking about smoking of filter cigarettes, so we have to identify this element. 3 by 5 of the time he will be smoking filter cigarettes. It is for filter cigarettes, right? X is for filter cigarettes. They are asking about for filter cigarettes, smoking filter cigarettes. So for the first one, first element denotes for the filter cigarettes, second element denotes for the non-filter cigarettes. So in the long run, he will be smoking filter cigarettes 3 by 5 of the time, that is 60% of the time. If you want to know how often he will be smoking non-filter cigarettes, then this is the data. See, in the long run, 2 by 5 of the time he will be smoking non-filter cigarettes, or 40% of the time he will be smoking non-filter cigarettes. So that's all this example. Now we'll see the next example here. A student's study habits are as follows. If he studies one night, he is 70% sure not to study the next night. Actually, this example will apply for you. On the other hand, if he does not study one night, then he is 60% sure not to study the next night again. See how lazy he is. Then, in the long run, how often does he study? See this quite interesting example, right? Okay, the student study habits are as follows. If he studies one night, okay, for example, today's night, if he studied, then he is 70% sure not to study the next night. Tomorrow's night, he is not going to study. What is the probability? The probability is 70%. Okay, that is zero point 0.7 times he is not going to study in the next night. That means tomorrow's night. Okay, 70% not sure. 70% sure that he is not going to study the next night. Okay, now that is a one case. On the other hand, if he does not study one night, on particular night, on some day, on a particular day, if he does not study, the next day also he is not going to study. If he does not study one night on some one day, okay, they have not given a particular day here. One particular day he has not studied. Okay, the next night, 60% sure that he is not going to study the next night. He is 60% sure not to study the next night. Okay, it is next night. Okay, in the long run how often he study, so that one we have to find. See here again, for the for the night studying, it is about night studying only, right? It is not about studying daytime and all. It is only about studying in the night time. So studying night time is denoted with A, and studying not studying night time is denoting with B. Okay, A and B, and the associated transition matrix P is as follows. That is P is equal to here AB in the row wise and also column wise. Okay, and let us construct the matrix. Here it is A11, A12, A21, A22. Now let us write the elements associated with the, that is corresponding with the problem given. Okay, See in the first one, in the first row, what it is telling? If he studies one night, if he studies one night, that means today night if he studied, then he is 70% sure not studied the next night. See 70% means B is nothing but not studying, right? B is nothing but not studying. So the next night he is not going to study, isn't it? So the probability is 70%. 70% can be considered as 0.7. Okay, so if it is zero point 0.7, then the remaining part will be the probability of the person or the student is going to study. Okay, we can give the probability for studying as 0.3, and since it is given 70% is not studying, then 30% he might study the next time, but he is not sure. Okay, anyway, come to the next one. On the other hand, if he does not study one night, on a particular night, if he does not study, if he did not study, then he is 60% sure not to study next night. I think he has lost his interest. So again in the next night he won't study. What is the probability? The probability is 60%. Again the 60% probability is given for not studying, right? So 60% given for not studying. So for not studying 60%. 60% means 0.6. So the probability 0.6 is the probability of the student is not going to study the next night. So what is the probability of studying? Then the probability of studying is of course 0.4. So this is how we have to construct the transition matrix. I hope you understood this. Now here what we have to find, here again we have to find in the long run how often does he study. Again here uh, a unique fixed probability vector will help us in finding the student in the long run how often he is going to study, or he does not study. Both the data it will give you in the same vector. Okay, now let us find the vector, unique fixed probability vector. I hope these steps you will follow, and now I will explain from here. Anyway, v is equal to 4 by 11, 7 by 11 you will get, that is x value is 4 by 11, y value is 7 by 11. Now v is equal to this you got. Now as I told you, x is for studying and y is for not studying. Here we have taken for the element A is for studying and B is for not studying, right? Similarly, the first element here x is for studying and y is for not studying only. And here if you denote this 4 by 11 and 7 by 11 as PA and PB. PA and PB. PA is nothing but the probability of studying. PB is nothing but the probability of not studying. Okay. Then what they are asking in the problem? They are asking the problem that in the long run how often does he study. So it is asking about the study, right? So for study we can take this element that is 4 by 11. So thus we conclude that in the long run the student will study 4 by 11 of the time, that is 36.36 of the time. Yes, here we have a very interesting question. The gambler's luck as follows a pattern. If he wins a game, the probability of winning the next game is 0.6. However, if he loses a game, the probability of losing the next game is 0.7. Then there is an even chance of gambler winning the first game. So if possible, if it happens, then what is the probability of the winning the second game? Then what is the probability of winning the third game? Then in the long run, how often he will win? Okay, so to understand the given data and the problem, if he wins a game, then the probability of winning the next game is 0.6. Then this TPM is nothing but transition probability matrix. The stochastic matrix or the transition matrix is given by P is equal to, here this W and whatever we have denoted according to the problem. So that one we have written as row wise and column wise and constructing this matrix, and the elements will be writing according to the given data. Now let us see the data. If he wins a game, the probability of winning the next game, probability of winning the next game is 0.6 again. See, they have given the probability of winning the next game, right? So winning the next game means in the next game, what is the probability of winning the next game? That is given and it is 0.6. So it is given. Now if it is 0.6, then what is the uh, probability of losing the next game? Then it is obviously it is 0.4, because the sum will give you 1, right? The complete row, if you add this, the sum will give you 1. So it must be 0.4 only. Now come to the next one. In the other hand, however, what happened? If he loses a game, the probability of losing the next game is 0.7. It is about losing the game now. If he loses a game, then the probability of losing the next game, it is, okay, probability of losing the next game is 0.7. Then what is the probability of winning the next game? Then obviously it is 0.3, because then the sum will be 1, isn't it? 0.3 plus 0.7 will become 1. Now this is how we have to construct the transition matrix. See, now we have constructed the transition matrix, and see here 1 by sorry 0.6 can be written as 6 by 10. It is 4 by 10, 7 by 10, and 3 by 10. So 1 by 10 we have taken common, and this is our transition matrix now, 6 4 3 7. Okay, now what we have to find, see, one more data they have given here. What is that? There is an equal chance or even chance of the gambler winning the first game. So in the first game there is an even chance. Even chance means he can win or he can lose. Okay, so if he wins, then the probability is 1 by 2, that is 0.5. If he loses, then the probability is again 0.5, isn't it? So the initial probability vector is taken as 0.5 and 0.5, that is 1 by 2 comma 1 by 2. Okay, zero point 0.5 and 0.5, or 1 by 2 comma 1 by 2 we can take. Now see what they have asked again. What is the probability of he winning the second game? See, in the first game the probability given, that is 1 by 2 comma 1 by 2, that is already given in the problem. The data is already given. The second game they are asking the probability of he winning the second game. So the second game means we have to find the p1, right? See, if it is initial probability vector, then p1 is the next probability vector, that is for the second game. I think you got my point. This is for the second game. For the second game it is p1. Okay, p1 can be written as initially whatever probability vector was there, that is p naught, call it as p naught. Okay, p naught and p naught into p. Now whatever the initial probability vector, that into P. P is what? The transition matrix, whatever we have constructed, that one. Okay. This 1 by 2, 1 by 2, in this 1 by 2, 1 by 2 row matrix, this 1 by 2 we have taken common, 1 and 1 is there in the matrix. It is a row matrix. Okay. And this is the transition matrix, whatever we have constructed according to the data. Okay. Now let us multiply this matrix multiplication. 1 by 2 into 1 by 10 is 1 by 20. This matrix with this matrix, if you multiply, you will get a row matrix again. So that is 9 11. Now it means 9 by 20, 11 by 20, isn't it? This is p1. This corresponds for the second game. So what they are asking? Probability of winning the second game. So for the winning of the second game, we have to identify the first element, isn't it? See, this is for the winning of the game, this is for the losing of the game. This is for the winning of the game, this is for the losing of the game. Okay, because in the first state space, in this space also we have taken like that. Now see, here it is winning of the game, here it is losing the game. So for the first element always resembles winning the game, and the second element resembles the second one, that is losing the game. Okay, so it is winning the game and it is losing the game. The probability of winning the game is 9 by 20, the probability of losing the game is 11 by 20. So they are asking winning the game, so winning the game is 9 by 20, that's all. Now in the second sub question is, what is the probability of winning the third game? So for the third game we have to construct again one more probability vector. So what is the probability vector for the third game? For the third game again it is add one more p for this. So if you add one more p, it will be p square, right? So it is p per 2. So that only they have written here, p per 2, that is p into p1, p into p1, that is p square is written as p1 into p. P1 is the before probability vector, that is the second probability vector, that resembles the second game, into the transition matrix p. Okay, so that is here it is 1 by 20 1 by 20 into 9 11, right? The row matrix 9 11, and here it is transition matrix, whatever we have constructed from the problem that we have taken here. And 1 by 20 into 1 by 10 is 1 by 200, and it will give you 87 113. This is the row matrix again. You know the matrix multiplication, right? So you will get 87 and 113. And here what they are asking? They are asking again about the winning the game, right? So for the winning the game, again I have to identify the first element. If they are asking about losing the game, then I would say about the second element. Since they are asking about the winning the game, then I have to identify the first element, that is 87 divided by 200. So probability of winning the game is 87 divided by 200. Now for the third sub question, in the long run how often he will win? So here, if they're asking about the long run, then in that case, this unique fixed probability vector will help us. So let us find the unique fixed probability vector. It is given by b is equal to x comma y such that bp is equal to b, where x plus y is equal to 1, isn't it? See these elements x and y. This sum of this will give you 1. Now bp is equal to b. B is nothing but x comma y into the probability matrix or the transition matrix is this I have taken here. So 1 by 10 into 6437 is equal to x comma y, sorry xy. It is a row matrix xy. Now let us multiply this matrices, row matrix and a 2 cross 2 matrix. These steps already explained, so you will follow these steps I think. The next you will get y value as 4 by 7, x value as 3 by 7. You will get x value as 3 by 7 and y value as 4 by 7. Now we will substitute in the vector. So it is vector v is equal to 3 by 7, 4 by 7. Now again the first one will resembles the winning the game, and the second element will resembles the losing the game. So it is what they are asking here. They are asking about the winning the game, right? So winning the game, the probability of winning the game is 3 by 7. The probability of winning the game is 3 by 7 of the time. In the long run, he will win 3 by 7 of the time. Thank you.